Hi DIYers, Joe from Alarm Grid, and today we're going to talk about how to default a Schlage Z-Wave lock. Now, this process for defaulting the Schlage lock is likely not going to be the same across different manufacturers. So if you have a Yale installed or a Quickset, you're going to want to check the documentation for your lock just to find out the actual process on how to default it. Really, it's going to be a simple process in whatever instance you run into, but it's usually particular in the steps that are required. So you're going to want to make sure that you know how to do it before you do it, just to make sure that you don't run into any trouble. Defaulting a Z-Wave lock is a useful thing to do in a couple different instances. Let's say you move into a new location, there's no Z-Wave controller that the lock is installed or connected to, and it's just up there on the door with a bunch of codes that you don't know. You can't really use it. In that case, defaulting the lock would be perfect, as what defaulting does is bring it back to the factory default state. It's as if you open it up out of the box and it's just a fresh device ready to go. Another instance where you may want to try defaulting it is if you're running into issues with connectivity between the lock and the Z-Wave controller. As a final troubleshooting step, defaulting the lock is something you can do just to cover all your bases to make sure that you've done everything you can to try to connect it. Another instance when you might want to default the lock is if you get it from one of your friends or family and you don't know what codes are on the lock. Even if the lock does work fine, you can't really see inside of the programming just looking at the device, and you don't know if there may be a code on it that you want wiped. All in all though, factory defaulting does exactly what it says it's going to do. It's going to clear the lock 100% and get it right back to that factory fresh state. So on the Schlage, it's quite simple to default this lock. What we're going to have to do is spin it around, take the back cover off, and then we're going to have to remove the connection to the battery pack. So with that set, I'm going to turn it back around. And what we have to do is we have to hold down the Schlage button and then reinsert the battery connection, or reconnect it rather. So I'm going to hold this down. I'm going to take my clip, put it back in its connector. And then release the Schlage button. So to check that the lock was actually reset, what we can do is press the outside Schlage button, which is this one, and then enter one of the default codes, which is on the back of your installation manual. For this particular lock, one of our default codes is 8074. So if I click the Schlage button and then 8074, you'll see that it did work, and it shows us that the lock was successfully factory defaulted. If you have any other questions about how to default the Schlage Z-Wave lock, any other Z-Wave locks, how to connect them via Z-Wave or alarm systems in general, feel free to head over to our website, www.alarmgrid.com. Give us a call at 888-818-7728, or send an email to support@alarmgrid.com. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe, and if you want to be notified when we post future videos, hit the notification button below and we'll send you an update when we do so. Thanks for watching and have a great day.